And we're live. Look at that. Losing my voice, but it's been a minute since I've been live. And I'm wearing, instead of my usual workout gear or my suits, which has been a minute and I almost did. But thank you, Inked and Beautiful and family, for this nice shirt. When she gets in, I'll show it again. This is only going to be for the people who rewatch it because I just jumped onto the live with nothing really done. I'm sitting down, but I might stand up. We're seeing where this is going. I'm setting up a new form. We'll just start with this. Waiting for people to come in, and this is going to be the way I'm going to do lives, I'm thinking, or at least test it out, where I'm lecturing on it and I'm just telling you things instead of taking time to go through the chat the whole time and then answer the same question again and again. It's like, okay, let me see something that's been a repeat between clients, Discord, and the comment section. So I'll go from there and see what's the most popular thing, see what I've experienced in my life, and then I'll draw from my sources. And this one's not really fully planned, but go through and come up with a lesson plan or a lecture. I've been listening to a lot of Neville's old stuff. It got brought to my attention too that there's a lot of people who are finding shit that AI created and it's not even Neville's speeches, and it's pissing me off. So I'm not going to go and take his lectures right now, but I'm thinking of going forward, like reading the book chapter by chapter with you guys, going through and playing his lectures like we did the one time on the one live and listening to that and going from there. But before we get in, I want to let some people come in. So if you guys want to say anything now, Adro, there you are with the wolf and the blue as always. Drinking my BCAs because I need to fit into the shirt that Ink sent me because it feels a little big, but it's actually closer to fitting into an extra large now. So I love it. I want to wear that. CTB, what's up, brother? I'm good. Back at it now. Waiting for everyone to come in, but I'm going to do like a little bit of a lecture today versus the usual live, and then we'll take some questions at the end. But wait for everyone to get here. Give it about 3 more minutes, so if you guys want to shoot the shit and stuff while we're waiting. I'm not doing a cigar yet. Actually, what my plan is to do the first live stream over on Muscular Mystic after this. So I'll pop over there if you guys want to pop in, hang out, go through stuff. I still got videos to edit for that channel and videos to post for this one. So staying busy with that stuff. But I feel like in regards to becoming a better teacher, I think I need to just sit down and instead of doing the hangout and entertaining the negative beliefs and going back and forth trying to resolve each and every one of them, we go through it and just, here's what it is, here's how it is. No ifs, ands, or buts. This is manifestation. This is how it works. So that's what I'm going with. I'm going with the success stories that I know and have experienced. I'm going with the success stories that Neville's got. I've got his book right here, and I've got the Bible right here with a couple things I highlighted in there, cross-referenced with Neville's. I do plan on taking other books too and bringing them in, but right now it's just these two I've been playing around with lately. Oh, this last bit's gonna suck. It's got all the BCA powder at the bottom. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, extra grainy, delicious. Marcus, good morning to you as well. I totally forgot I was streaming too, as I've been doing. But yeah, we're waiting about another minute. But even if no one else comes in, we got the 4 of you guys. I'm just doing a little bit of a lecture instead of as much entertaining the chat. Like I said, I'm going to move over to Muscular Mystic after this. Like we'll do the lecture, we'll do questions and answers, and then from there go to Muscular Mystic to hang out and do a live stream over there. That one's where I'll have my cigar. Here, I'll remain professional and stuff like that. But, I don't know, should I lower this down so we can see the shirt that Ink's got there? You can see the wolf on it as much as we can in my messy floor. No, let's pull it back up. But yeah, we'll wait a couple more seconds, and then we'll get moving. It's not fully planned out either. It's a very rough draft. Any plans for meditation on Discord this week? Yeah, we can do one this week. I've got it kind of penciled in on my schedule. That's going to be Thursdays. So we'll aim for Thursday, and then I'll make an announcement to everyone else who wants to join the Discord, $750 a month, or get a coaching session. You're in the Discord, and we'll do the group meditation, which we've seen successes when everyone's meditating and praying on behalf of the others. So that's been pretty cool. So if you want, I'll put the link at the bottom of this as well, but the link to Discord is everywhere. So if you guys are interested in that, but yeah, we're going to aim for Thursday on that one. And I guess with that, we're going to start off the lecture, which I've not really prepared for. So I just kind of grabbed the stuff and went with things I've highlighted. But I do want to start out at the beginning of this chapter for Neville. Neville's got a chapter in one of his books called The Game of Life. And it's from the book Seed Time and Harvest. But Florence Scovel Shinn also has a book called The Game of Life. Neville just has a chapter on it. But I love the way this is highlighted. It's one of the first things I highlighted when I started teaching. And I think it's very important to go over. It is easier to teach 20 what were good to be done than to be one of the 20 to follow mine own teachings, William Shakespeare. So as we know, Neville was an avid reader and lover of the arts and stuff, as many of us are. I mean, that's why in Discord we've got that whole section for people to come in and talk about their passions, because it's more important to express yourself, to love yourself. You know, what's the core of all this stuff? Expressing, loving yourself, and being true to yourself. Neville was an artist, a writer, a reader, all that stuff. So makes sense he's a Shakespeare fan, whatever. But I highlighted that because that's how this chapter starts off. And I think in terms of being a teacher, and it was something I needed to know, because sometimes I would be failing or quote unquote fucking it up, right? And I would be stressed out and I'm like, why am I not doing this? I know what I need to do. It's easier to teach than to be one of the teachers following it. Just like in sports, it's easier to be the coach. You know the workouts, you've done them, you've been there. But now it's just easier to coach people. And sometimes you forget what it's like, what those guys are going through on the field. But then with this confession off my mind is what he continues. Now this is Neville speaking after that quote. With this confession off my mind, I will now teach you how to play the game of life. Life is a game, and like all games, it has aims and rules. So he's admitting that it is hard to be a teacher. And I've learned that it's very hard to convey a message that you know, because so much of manifestation is going through a process. It's you transforming yourself through this process. And it's something that is hard to explain. It's hard to teach. It's hard to convey. But when you experience it, it's like, oh, wow, that was easy. And now everything everyone said has clicked to me. So that's what he's admitting there. And I've always admired the beginning of that passage. And what's it called? What's up, guys? I was going to say, I see the thing. I'm doing a lecture today. So if I don't get to the comments, I feel bad. But I'm trying something new. So bear with me on this. And when it comes to the game of life, Neville starts it out like this. The game of life is being played on the field of the mind. And in playing the game, the first thing we ask, and what is it? If I do a lecture, I could, and we have more people here, I could have it where they could answer. But that's more something for Discord when everyone's on the chat. But it's to aim at a purpose, which I always said, know what you want, exactly what you want, because so often people get confused. Oh, I want this, I want that. Do you really want that? Or do you want the feeling that gives you? And could you live with something else giving you that feeling? What's the second rule of the game? What are the rules governing the game? And what did I always say? You set the rules to the game. So number one, you're identifying a purpose. This is from Neville's words, and it's from what I taught without even, I went back and was looking through this, and I'm like, damn, I've been on point. I'm teaching what needs to be taught. Like I said, sometimes we question ourselves. We look for answers and we find out we've been on the right track all along. So stop doubting yourselves. There's a lot of people, they know everything about manifestation, but they doubt themselves so much, and they doubt the law. They don't want to sit there and do the work. They just want to say, yeah, but I don't know if it's real. You can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. We talked about this on Discord the other day. If you have 1 foot in and 1 foot out and you're looking for me to sell you, save your money on coaching, save your money on paying anybody, save your time on watching videos, and just don't. Your thoughts are always going to create whether you like it or not. But if you don't have the discipline to sit down and to actually apply what we are learning and all the time on these videos, then there's no point to even play around with videos, to read books, to do anything, because if you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you're out. But if you're both feet in, you're going to succeed. So Number one is know your goal. Number two is you decide the rules, which is what we've always been talking about. Then from there, you apply them consistently and you keep believing that these rules are working out in your favor. Again, we're not looking for failure, we're looking for success. Let me see it. And then how do we do all this stuff? Yeah, we go within our own mind. And I've been watching another guy lately, William Donahue. If you guys get the chance, look him up on YouTube. I'm pretty sure he's passed away. His videos are old from like the 90s or whatever. But he always talks about Jesus talking about the single eye, which is true, which is your inner eye, your pineal gland, your meditation gland, or whatever you want to call it. It's about meditating. And the line I pulled here was, this is from the Bible. It was in St. Luke. The light of the body is the eye. Therefore, when thine eye is single, thy whole body is full of light. But when thine eye is evil, thine body is also full of darkness. Take heed, therefore, that the light which is in the light that's which in thee is not darkness. If thy whole body therefore be full of light, having no part dark, the whole shall be full of light. And when the bright shining of the candle doth give the light. Now, there's a whole lot of fancy speaking and stuff like that. And obviously, I'm reading the version of the Bible with the fancier writing. So, St. James, what's this? Which Bible is this? King James, not St. James. So, the King James Bible, it's got all the old English and stuff. So, it could be more confusing. Neville speaks in a way that can be confusing at times too, because it's like very proper English, but some people do get confused by what he's saying. Again, the Bible and Neville agree on this. William Donahue agrees on this. I agree on this. This is what I've experienced in my life too. Neville talks about you get filled with golden liquid light. Okay, that was an experience that Neville had. And then right here in the Bible, Jesus is telling you about the light that's within you. But if you're choosing to only acknowledge the darkness inside yourself, you're only going to be filled with darkness. So it means whatever you're looking for, you are going to find. That's what that Bible translation means. That's what Neville was talking about. When you're filling yourself with golden liquid light, this is the light of your body. You're only seeing the good in life. And now the other part I wanted to move to is, I don't know if I want to read this right now because I've read this before in another semi-lecture that I tried to give. But it was a chapter on failure. Neville's got another book called The Power of Awareness. That one's more popular and more well-known. But he has a chapter called Failure. If you grab my Neville Complete Reader, as you can see here, that is the most flipped to page I've had. Because before I was teaching, when I was still learning, when I'm going through what I was going through, this one and the next page that flops open is free will. So it's like the questioning and trying to learn is selling myself on the law. But it wasn't until I took this all in blind faith and just went forward. It's like, okay, if all these writings throughout history agree on the same thing, that your thoughts focused upon one thing will bring that thing into reality, aka manifest it into reality, make the unseen seen. If that's what it is, then why am I sitting here trying to sell myself? Again, okay, what if I failed? What if I failed? I learned that sometimes those failures need to be done or need to be gone through to unlock the thing that you really want, because it was never a failure. It was the bridge. And sometimes bridges are ugly. Like I said, I've talked about it before, the old rickety bridges and stuff like that you have to cross to get to the promised land. Look at Shrek crossed that rickety bridge to get Princess Fiona, right? So again, just talking about the rules and stuff. And I don't know how much I want to read from the books. I got a lot of stuff highlighted, but I would rather go off my own experiences and stuff. And I mean, I gave a really great speech on Discord about it the other day in the question and answer portion. So if you're a member, you'll be able to see that. But before that, I recorded an even better one and it got pulled away. But maybe because it got deleted, it's what needed to be heard. Maybe I expounded too much and I was like, come on, I was really disappointed because it was the first thing I was talking about for a while, because I've been just sitting here trying to become a better teacher. And really what I realized was, to be the best teacher, and I actually pulled this one from the Bible, and I don't have the page saved on that, but it was when things are spoken with authority, people have more faith in you. And that's true. If you see me as someone who wavers in this and that, yeah, well, I am successful and have something that you desire, are you going to respect me as a teacher? No, he might not know what he was saying. He may have just got it subconsciously. You might not realize it, but if I'm not presenting myself as the most knowing teacher. That's why people who don't have any receipts for what they did, but speak with bold confidence, do have results from their clients, but not from themselves. It's easier for them to teach than to do, as we talked about. But they have a successful client rate because they believe that they're the best. They believe that whatever they're saying is the right thing, even though that teacher is saying something everyone else is saying. So that was something I learned. Like, I'm coming forward with more confidence in what I've done. It's like you could still be humble, but confident. That's something I talked about before. Without being cocky, you could be humble and confident at the same time. So that was something I needed to learn in my week or two away, or however long it's been, which is reevaluating how to bring forth the best teaching and all this. And part of that is also, I wanted to talk about mini manifestations. Now, I've had people disagree with me on mini manifestations where it's like, oh, that's not really a success. That's not really a success. It's not the success that the person wanted at that moment. It's not their big, quote unquote, big manifestation, which it's all relative. And I'll stick by this. It's all relative. If you're just as excited about a small manifestation that means nothing on the big scheme of life versus something that impacts your life further, like way down the road, like a relationship, like a career change or whatever, if that's a big manifestation, in the big scheme of life, it's only as valuable as the free cup of coffee or whatever. So when I say do many manifestations, I'm not just saying that it's bullshit just to give you some work to do. I'm telling you this because those mini manifestations are confidence builders. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. You're doing these things to build confidence. And the excitement you feel from the free cup of coffee should be the same that you feel from the SP. And it's crazy to say because you won't feel it like that. And obviously it's going to be more on the other one. But when you're able to drive your excitement up for something that doesn't seem important, then you're able to tap into that whenever. And you're able to see a physical track record of results that you have. And I believe, actually, that was something that Neville talked about here I had highlighted. To play the no, not that one. I think this is it. Create the conditions and circumstances of our lives. So our internal, this is what he's talking about. We're creating the conditions and circumstances of our lives by all-powerful human inner words. Without practice, the most profound knowledge of the game would produce no desired results. These mini manifestations are practice. They are the field, they are the court, they are the whatever you would call it, the gym, where you're training before you actually experience what you wish to experience. See what I'm saying? Like if you're going to the gym, which Neville even has a gym reference in here too, where he talks about, hold on, where is that? I like that one too. Oh, the talent. He's talking about the biblical talent. In the Bible, talent is money. The talent not used is like the limb not exercised, slumbers and finally atrophies. We must be doers of the word and not only hearers. Boom, what's the title of this lecture? The lecture is we're being doers and not just hearers of the word. He's using a fitness reference, which I love. And then at the same time, we're talking about without practice, the most profound knowledge of the game would produce no desired results. You can't get a result if you haven't tried it, if you haven't done it. So like he says, prove me wrong. And he was bold about it. He said, okay, go climb the ladder. There's people who still never climb the ladder, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you need to put yourself in that state where you are, okay, I'm going to accomplish this, and this. And some of those on the mini manifestation list are things you don't believe would happen. They're probably going to happen, but I don't really see it happening. If you put yourself in that state and you start knocking these things down one at a time, it's like, okay, let me practice it. Visualize getting $100. What's it look like in your hand? What's it feel like? What's it smell like, right? When he's got the smell on shit. So you're focused on that. You walk away from it and forget about it. That's when you realize like that's the only work you needed to do. Then it shows up. I mean, it's going to happen. Just like, I think it's 2 summers ago, we had a video that I did where I said, let's manifest money, right? And we went and manifested. I was like, we're going to count money. It's a visualization, a guided visualization that we did. And in my head, I'm counting the money. I think we counted to 1,000. I can't remember what it was, but I remember really on 300. I'm like, man, 300 would be nice. Like, I'm giving you the example what you could do with $300. I'm letting your mind run wild. I'm telling you where to go with the stuff. But at 300, it really stuck in my mind. I don't know why that number. I should have picked a higher number, but like, I don't know. That one just felt good to me. I go to a carnival with Lily a couple days later, and there's a security checkpoint. As I'm pulling out all my stuff, I see a wad of money with 100 on top sitting on the ground. Pick it up. Security saw me, the cops saw me, the people in line, everyone saw me pick it up. And I just walked through the thing, grab all my shit. I told her, I'm like, I just got $300. And she's like, what? And I'm like, she goes, how do you know? I'm like, I just feel it's like 300. I knew it was 300 before I picked it up. But with the way the stack was, I didn't feel how many bills were in there. I just saw 100 on top. It could have been $102. It could have just been two singles under there. But I'm like, hey, it's 300. And then I give it to her, and I'm like, there we go. So, yeah. That was just something I'm saying, like, that's the practice that needs to be done for this stuff to come into fruition. You're not just listening, reading, learning. It's, the stuff needs to be applied. That's the end of the day. So let me take a break from the lecture for a minute, because I wasn't going to, but I see a bunch of people come in. I said hi to Nancy and Marcus and everybody up there. Courtney, welcome in. Sheila, glad to see you. Just coming by to say can't stay long because I'm at work. Well, hopefully you got to see some of it. Literally recorded a video this morning about you have to do. There we go. I love it. And Inked, yeah, I acknowledged you at the beginning of the video, Inked. I wore this because I figured you guys were going to see it. And I was actually going to stand to do the lecture. Like, I've switched up from my regular talking points to just a lecture that I've been listening to. Another great person to listen to is Freedom Berry, the channel Neville Goddard. He's got a lot of stuff on Freedom Berry, which was the guy that Neville had that success story about when the guy went to San Francisco or somewhere in California. One of the sands in California. He was Neville's student. Neville sent him, Neville sent him over to California to teach and take over his school that he had there. And when Neville went to, when this guy went out there, a homeless guy was begging him for money. And he said, silver and gold have I not for you, but for you I'll have something better. And the guy just was angry and drunk and got angry and walked away. But Freedom Berry didn't move from the spot. He sat there and he visualized the guy employed, doing well, blah, 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 all this stuff. A couple weeks later, the guy, Freedom Berry, is walking. He sees this homeless guy, but he looks cleaner, and he walks up to him and goes, hey, do you remember me? He goes, I do. And he tells him, he goes, well, you won't believe it, but the next day I was so ashamed for asking you for money. I went up, I got a job, and now I've got a job that's perfect, and I love it, and I have room for growth, all this stuff. So he had that amazing experience. And I think I've told this story before. If not, it's been something in Discord or with a client. I remembered that story from Freedom Berry, and Freedom Berry was remembering that from something in the Bible. The silver and gold quote line is something that Peter says, I believe, where he tells somebody who's begging, silver and gold have I not for you, but something better, which he also used his imagination, his creative power to, well, all the way back in biblical times, then back in like the 1950s or 60s. We got another example of it. Fast forward to a couple years ago. I'm in the same situation. There's a homeless guy, and I'm shoveling snow at my job. That was like at the place I worked, I used to have to shovel like 2 city blocks full of snow and snowstorms and stuff. There was a 7-Eleven in the building I worked in. He would shovel out that area because he loved 7-Eleven. He was like obsessed with it. People gave him the money. He'd hang out in there. Now, the owner of 7-Eleven didn't like the bums, but he would still put up with them because when they came in with money, it's fine. They're holding the door for people. Easier not to deal with them. So the guy would shovel out a little path. He's like, hey, can I get some money? I'm like, no, I'm not going to give you money because shovel that whole block over there and I'll shovel this block. Okay, then I'll pay you. But until then, I'm like, no, you know what? There's that chance to test the law. And I got specific. This guy is going to work at that 7-Eleven that hates homeless people. He's going to work at that particular one. He's going to be happy and healthy, and he's whatever lie he's telling, maybe it is the truth, and he's going to do well there. And I'm picturing this whole thing as I'm shoveling. So let's say maybe I'm shoveling 20, 30 minutes. I spend 5, 10 just thinking about this guy and him working there and seeing him in the 7-Eleven uniform and seeing things look good for him. So I leave. He's like, see ya. I'm like, see you later. And then a couple of weeks go by. There's no more snow, so I'm not out there. I'm not going to 7-Eleven regularly or anything. Next time I go to 7-Eleven, my apprentice tells me, hey, I'm going to buy you a drink. And, manifestation, people always buy me gifts, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. We go up there. He's like, I'm going to buy you an energy drink for the day. We walk in. This dude's there. He's like, hey, look, I'm working here now. And he's wearing the suit, just like I saw. He's wearing the 7-Eleven uniform, enjoying himself. And he worked there, I believe, until I left. But what happened in those 2 weeks was the guy who hated the homeless people sold it to another guy who was like very liberally and out there and stuff like that, and was like, oh, I'm going to hire all the homeless people. When he hired all the homeless people, didn't really work out too well because they weren't all as enthusiastic as that one guy, because the coffees were never made, they were dirty and stuff like that. That's besides the point. But that out of them, when they all got fired, I think that one was the only dude who stayed. So I was happy to see that. But it's like it carried on all these. I mean, you got this biblical story, you got Freedom Barry's story, which was a student in Neville's, and then you got my story. So it's like you heard the stories, you heard the results. Do you believe them? Okay, if you believe what I said, if you believe what Freedom said, if you believe what Peter in the Bible said, then you should be sold. There's 3 examples of the same situation throughout 3 time periods in human history. You believe it? Are you sold? Okay, now you go and do it. But if you don't, then don't bother. That's my point. Everybody sits here. Everyone loves manifestation. Reminds me of, I knew this guy, and he'll probably, if he ever sees this, he'll know who he is. He was younger than me and my brother, and I remember one time he was wearing all this Minecraft gear, hat, shirt, all that shit, and then told us, like, well, I was a Minecraft aficionado for a period of my life, and I said, oh, you're into Minecraft? He goes, no, I just like it for the fashion. It's like so many, you know how many people, let's transliterate that to this. How many people are into manifestation practices, law of assumption, law of attraction for the fashion? Because it sounds good to say, I'm esoteric, I'm new age, I believe in the thoughts of the universe and everything's working out in my favor. It's real easy to be in this for the fashion. It's not easy to actually apply it, because then you're putting your mind out there. You're sitting down, you're getting disciplined. No phone, no TV, no nothing. I'm sitting down in thought. No, I'm not going to go scroll TikTok. I'm going to go read a book and understand this law more and find a new method to apply. Well, not method hopping around like, oh, I'm going to try this one and this one and this one. No. Picking one thing that you know is going to work for you, which is your rule, picking one goal that you know you're going to achieve and going after that goal through that method and applying it religiously throughout your life with the anticipation that it's going to work. That's what this is. So that's the law. So anyway, I think that might be the end of my lecture there. We're at 27 minutes. There's a 20-minute lecture. I haven't reached the hour like Neville, and like I said, that's half-assed prepared. I just popped open the Bible to a random page of stuff I got highlighted, and I popped open Neville's one. And like I said, I think this chapter right here is like the 3rd most worn out. Then it goes to, the part about free will and failure and stuff like that. And like I said, I do plan on, reading these and stuff like that as we go forward more. But we'll take some questions and answers if you guys want now. But like I said, I didn't want to get hung up on this whole question answer going into this half-cocked, just having a cigar. I'm going to do the cigar hangout. If you want to go there, ask more questions, bullshit, hang out, that will be on Muscular Mystic. I'm going to go do that in a couple minutes. So if you guys want to do that and join me over there, you're more than welcome. I'll do that when I have a cigar, and I'll give you guys an update on it if you're interested. Other than that, we could ask the questions here if you got them, and hopefully everything I said was clear. But let me go to the comments. They'll be so happy. Yeah. No, I figured I'm like, just in case you're not here, I'm like, I was wearing a different shirt and I saw it had a stain on it, and I'm like, oh, I still had the gift from you and the kids over here. And for anyone who hasn't seen it, Ink's daughter Hannah made this for me. So I appreciate that. I'm actually going to start decorating these walls, and it will be one of the things that goes up there. And then I think I did. And then we got the blue stress ball, which was a mini manifestation that I had. The blue balls mini manifestation, right? So, I mean, that happened. I'll put that up, mount that up on the wall too. Once we get going with fixing up the office more. But I want to thank Ink for those things. So yeah, that's why I said I had to put all this on. So if you guys got questions, let me know. We'll take some questions before wrapping up. And then we'll go to Muscular Mystic. And then later on today, I'll edit some videos for there and then post videos here. If you have video suggestions too, let me know. I've got a ton of them written down over there. I've got some, Nancy gave me a bunch of suggestions. Marcus gave me some suggestions. So I thank both you guys for that. But yeah, we got, I pretty much, I think I might be out of stuff to say. I was trying to make that into a a nice hour-long lecture, but I think I have to like kind of script this a little more. No, you're good. That's the thing. I see the text messages come up on here. If you have an iPhone, I'll see your text message come up on here while I'm live streaming. So I actually saw your messages here before I saw your text. But yeah, I think it's a little bit shocking to see me back. There was a point where I was considering retiring for a minute from this. I was just like, because sometimes you feel like, how do you reach people? And then I realized it needs to be brought forward with more authority. You need to hear, like, there's a way to do it where you're not fucking screaming and yelling until you're blue in the face like some of these idiots. I still stand by that. I'm not going to be a coach that's going to sit there yelling until I'm blue in the face. But I will sit there now and be more assertive, because playing the game where it's like, okay, I see your point. I said, no, nobody saw my point and nobody understood what I was going through, and I didn't have no help. I did it alone. So the fact that you think you need help is wrong. You can do it by yourself. If you need coaching, I'm here. If you need questions, they'll be at the end of these lectures. If you need anything, there's videos on it. There's 420 videos or more at this point. There's stuff out there. No question, but been watching heavy past few weeks. Today is a great day, finally getting a hold of how to refocus when negative thoughts come. Proud of the work. Thanks for what you do. Well, thank you, Army Zen. I appreciate you. I think you commented you watched that one video a couple times. Yeah, I'm sticking with this trend for now of like, we need to do it and not just say. It's like, and if you don't have anything that you're trying to manifest at the moment, don't feel that you need to do anything. Enjoy life, and then expect miracles, and the good things will come. Why do you think one of my affirmations is I'm no more than 2 weeks away from a miracle? At any time, I mean, there's a couple of reasons for it. It's like, one, if there's a main thing you're focused on, you're saying it while giving yourself an out, like, hey, it's not going to, if it doesn't pan out, something good still will happen. Or if you're not manifesting anything, something good is going to happen in those 2 weeks. And then every 2 weeks, you're getting some kind of miracle. It's like you're ordering something from the category or from the catalog of life, and boom, it's coming in. So, I mean, there's a bunch of different things to do, but it's like at the end of the day, everything comes down to you. You could feel the most positive when you're in a live stream, when we're doing a group meditation on Discord, when we're doing anything positive and stuff like that, and I'm around and the group's around, it's very easy to be positive and say, I got this. It's the time you're alone. It's the time when it's you versus your thoughts that you have to become a fighter. That's the time that you have to say, I'm not going to be run by my thoughts. I'm going to run my thoughts. But they're not going to give up without a fight at times. I'm not saying this in a negative way, but your thoughts are not going to give up easy, especially in the beginning. You are going to have to fight them. But the way to fight is to not fight. Remove attention from whatever those thoughts are putting in your head. Distract it with something else. That's why I say the gym. You're in the gym and you're killing it in the gym. You don't have time to focus on the negative thoughts of your mind. You're in there doing, what did we do the other day on Mystic or the Mystic? If you're part of that, you saw 100 squats. When you're doing 100 squats, you can't fucking breathe. Your legs are shaking. You're focusing on just not dying. Like, there's no time to think about negative circumstances. So getting yourself distracted, removing attention from what you don't want, that's what you want to do. That's it. Yes, flip and show them who's boss. Exactly. Because fighting the thought is just going to result in more fighting. Now you're stuck in your mind. You're in a battle of your mind. And when you're in your mind, and when you're fighting your negative thoughts on your negative thoughts turf, they're going to win time and time again. But when you're setting the terms of the fight, when you're setting the rules of the fight, when you're setting the territory, you put yourself in a position to win. Negative thoughts can't bother me if I'm in the gym. Negative thoughts can't bother me if I'm reading something positive. Negative thoughts can't bother me if I'm going and being productive or focusing more energy on something I do want to do. Instead of, hey, here's a negative inner conversation. Instead of going in there and playing to that, you're like, here's a positive inner conversation. If you can't do it with a certain person, do an inner conversation with someone else who it is easier with no resistance. If that one dream that you want to achieve is too hard to focus on at the moment, it's making you feel bad to think about, go focus on something you know you can achieve right now, in your control. What can be controlled right now? And then guess what? That going after the controlled thing, the small thing, the mini manifestation, achieving that gives you more confidence to go after the big things in life. The gym definitely helped you today. That's awesome. Yeah, I still got to go help myself at the gym today. I've actually been sleeping a lot too. Also, don't neglect that. Sometimes you guys have seen me around. I don't sleep. I stay wide awake, and I'm just always on the move. Sometimes your body comes back for revenge, and don't look at your body as an enemy. Let yourself get the relaxation. Let yourself get a nap. Sleep in if you have to. Sometimes less is more, and that's very powerful. Like, it took me a long time to learn it in the gym, and a longer time to learn it in manifestation. Less is more. Letting yourself rest, letting yourself have a break, let your mind be at ease instead of stressing yourself out. But yeah, I guess we'll stay for another couple minutes, see if we got any questions, and if you guys want, I'll share it or go over, look up Muscular Mystic, follow me over there, and that's where we'll have the cigar, and we'll just talk about life, working out, acting, comedy, fun stuff, or whatever. But yeah, this is a shorter live than usual, but I want to get more into doing these, what do you call it? These lectures, and I want to plan them out better, make them a little bit more cohesive or coherent, and go from there. And then on the other channel, just that's my one for fun. That's me. That's if you guys want to hang out there. A positive, productive, laugh-friendly place and workout place, and whatever you got questions on the life there. I could go do my cigars there. I still have them here and there. And I'm not saying we're never going to do another live like we used to, but there's room to talk here too. I started the carnivore diet last Monday. It kicked my butt. I need something less extreme. Yeah, I want to get myself on the carnivore diet too. I think I'm going to go shopping later on today and pick up all the stuff and start cooking for that. Because I still got a few weeks left of bulking, which is what the vlogs have been about. Well, they're just workout montages with the undertone that I'm going to be bulking or am bulking at the moment. But with that, I guess if we don't have any more questions, guys, I'm going to end that. And then in a few minutes, I'm going to be over there on the Muscular Mystic page. So if you want, go subscribe, follow me over there. I'm going to still be posting videos there, manifesting related, and just whatever's like really on my mind. Like that will be ones that are like really more profound, I guess. Not more profound, but just that channel's fitness related with the undertone of manifesting. This is manifesting with an undertone of fitness, right? The two sides of my coin. But also I've got a lot of other stuff going on. I want to put more like cinematic things and stuff there. But we'll talk about that over there. So if there's no other questions, I'm going to get off and I'll see you guys over there. All right. Love you guys very much, and I'll see you next Monday.